So today, thanks for listening to the Chronicles of Davidson. This is something I'm doing to help me write my biography. So your support means a lot to me and would love to get any feedback as well. It is 6:15 a.m. and it's interesting how the mind works, but I do think that whenever I do wake up early, and this is actually normal for me typically, but during this coronavirus, I definitely have been catching up on sleep. So it's abnormal, I guess, now that I'm waking up this early. But today I will be discussing my survival mechanism, which is a pretty interesting topic. So it's an exercise where you write down 25 things that make you angry and 25 things that make you sad. So you go through the process. So I'll go through that right now so I can show you what that looks like exactly. So I'm just gonna list them right now. So I'm doing this to see if it's changed throughout the years. Wanted to, and especially what's going on right now with COVID. It will be interesting to kind of temperature check to see what's going through my mind. So I'm gonna do 25 things that make me angry and sad. Okay. Number one, I definitely notice I get judgmental about myself. And anytime you're judgmental about yourself, you're also judgmental about others. So for me specifically, it's when on days I'm hard on myself on days I don't work out or do physical activity. So that's one. Number two, um, being cooped up inside and not being able to go out in nature. So something about being like not being able to travel. Um, that's three. Four, when I'm not like crushing it, like when I'm not number one or like a top five rep, I'm very hard on myself. So it's like almost like a perfectionist almost type of thing. But I think it's because I've read so many biographies that it's like influence the way I think. So that's four. So just so you guys, afterwards we're gonna come up with the name of my survival mechanism. So I'm gonna keep listing some. I guess I'm sad that I I don't have more of like a deep intimate relationship with certain people. But it's interesting because I realize like it's impossible to have that with everyone. So it's like I want something more. So there's a lot of moreness to this that we probably have to unpack later. Um, I'm gonna be sad if the Summit of Greatness gets postponed. We can't have large gatherings. Can't go into the office. Office. That others can't be as productive. Seeing my friends get sick, really sick. Um, that I can't be an even better listener. Um, that sometimes like it takes me a while to be, so I guess like sometimes I'm a hypocrite, like coaching wise it took me a while to implement the feedback. So I'm noticing a lot of trends on just being like hard on myself, hard on myself and others actually, because all every time it's myself it's impacting others as well. So that's for 13. um Excuses, I definitely do think I'm very judgmental about excuses. So it's interesting, right? It's a very oxymoronic, because like compassion, or sometimes like for my lack of compassion. Hmm. I don't like it when people don't communicate, including myself. Mm, hmm. Interesting. Um, yeah, this is a pretty interesting exercise. I would love to, if you guys are doing this, would love to see what your thoughts are, what you've got on this, and then reach out to me. If you have trouble with this exercise, I could help you come up with your survival mechanism as well. I'm going to call this my survival mechanism during COVID. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this exercise is because I want to see if anything has changed, since it's been 3 or 4 years since I've done this exercise. So wanted to see if anything has shifted from all the self-development work that I've been like pouring myself into. Um, I guess like when people are littering, I'm hard on myself when I don't recycle properly. Um, Racism, how like unhealthy a lot of like the main cuisines are, like a lot of like the societal, um like how there's so much processed foods. One of my stories is that like a lot of um healthy food, like veggies, like don't taste good. So that's number 20. um, when I'm unproductive, definitely noticing a trend on how hard I'm being on myself. That's interesting. um this is such a horrible thing to say, but like what I would consider like overweight people. I don't know, I guess that makes me very insecure about myself, and um I think that's why I pour so much energy into physical activities. So not letting like the feeling of restlessness I get when I don't when I don't have 20,000 steps. So that's 23, 24. Um, Lack of integrity. I know like that's something that I've been battling with, and I know that's just a story, but something that I deal with. And one more. Um, when I don't do things that I say I would. I say I would. Okay. So let's come up with three. So the next stage is to come up with. So now I look for common themes, right? And then I will name it. So there's three words that are oxymorons that it will help me bring light into some of these things, and almost like just a way to like make fun of it, so that way like it doesn't like consume and control my life. Okay, so I guess there's like I noticed there's like a rebellious theme, rebellion, a rebel. So that's one word that I'm noticing from doing this exercise. So let me see what else. Mm, there's a bit of like a perfectionist theme as well, which is oxymoronic because I almost like elitist. I think elitist rebellion rebel is what comes to mind. So that's one. Elitist rebel. And then there's something about like lack of control, like when I feel like I'm like caged in. So maybe caged, hmm, caged perfectionist, if that even makes sense. I'll go with that for now, unless I can come up with a better word. And then there seems to be something about like unconnected or unloved, I guess is a better word. Or what's a word for like not fitting in, like a outsider. So un unloved outsider? No, but it's like it's like an oxymoron. So it's like networked networked outsider. Here, let me reread everything again, and then I'll see what makes sense. Something about hypocrite, hard on myself, lack of compassion. Mm, I put racism on there. There's something very like righteous about a lot of the things I am saying. So maybe like righteous outsider. There you go. So, maybe I'm gonna reach out to people and ask for support. But this is what I have. So it looks like my three survival mechanism is elitist rebel. Oh wait, what did I add? What was my second one? Righteous outsider is the third one, and then caged caged. Something about being unproductive but being productive. Hmm. Caged. Something with like. Hmm, when I'm being hard on myself. Cage communicator? Hmm. Something about societal pressures. Contra- contrarian. Oh, but that's kind of like being a rebel. Maybe I'll write this down. Um, yeah, this is a. I'm gonna get some support, but you guys get the gist. Um, yeah, your survival mechanisms interesting. So doing this exercise and upon reflection, I definitely noticed that my being when it comes to when there's like a tragedy or a crisis or something that's going on right now is that I go through this flip flop between like I can obviously be very compassionate at times, but then it's almost like then I'm being hard on myself that I can't. But then it's interesting because my optimism, so maybe something about optimistic, optimistic, something that's like unable to deal with reality. So optimistic judge. Uh, oh, optimistic failure. Boom. That definitely resonates. Yep, that's what it is. Okay, cool. So that's interesting. So it's like I'm doing well, like relatively speaking, but then I feel bad that others are going through these hardships. But in a way, it's like my coping mechanism that works. Huh. So, would love to hear your thoughts on what you got out of this conversation. It's a really interesting exercise. Please reach out to me to learn more or if you need any support in this. But that's the beauty of coaching. There's no right or wrong, it's an art. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Cheers. Oh, just to let you know, I'm going to be releasing 12 consecutive weeks of chapters of my life. So, the survival mechanism chapter, this is what's going on during COVID. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode. Cheers.